Most of us think of Wonderland as this whimsical, chaotic dream, right? A fun, nonsensical place for kids. But what if it's not a dream at all? What if it's actually a nightmare, one that runs on a set of rules so strict and so terrifying they make our own world look like a walk in the park? Today, we're diving deep, descending the rabbit hole to deconstruct the bizarre and frankly creepy logic of Wonderland.
So, this is the big question we have to tackle. Is Wonderland just random? A bunch of impossible stuff happening for no reason? That's what it looks like on the surface. But if you lean in a little closer, you start to see this really disturbing pattern taking shape. It's not chaos, not at all.
And this quote, this is the key that unlocks the whole thing. See, Wonderland isn't lawless, far from it. It's governed by a logic as cold and hard as iron. It is a system. And to really get our heads around that system, we're going to dissect 3 of its most famous or maybe infamous residents. Each one represents a different and deeper level of its madness.
So our journey starts right where Alice's did, with our supposed guide. Welcome to Level 1, the madness of philosophy of existence itself. And our host for this level is none other than the master of paradox, the Cheshire Cat. Think about this for a second. The cat doesn't just, ease Alice into things. Nope, it immediately slams down the #1 non-negotiable law of this land. And it's not an opinion, it's not a suggestion, it's a fact. Here, in Wonderland, madness isn't the exception, it's the baseline. It's the air you breathe.
And right here, this is where we see the cat's genius. It's perfect, inescapable logic trap. Alice does what any of us would do. She asks for proof. She tries to apply our world's logic. But the cat's proof is a perfect circle. Just by being in Wonderland, you've already proven you're mad. How do you argue with that? You can't. There is no way out.
And if you think that's strange, the cat's own reasoning gets even weirder. It goes on to prove its own madness by just flipping the natural world upside down. It says, okay, a dog is sane, right? A dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's happy. Simple. But the cat? It does the exact opposite. It purrs when it's pleased and wags its tail when it's mad. So, by this simple, twisted logic of opposites, it has to be mad. Case closed.
And of course, the cat's madness isn't just in its head. It's physical. It can literally deconstruct its own body, piece by piece, until nothing is left but a single quality, its grin. Now, this isn't some cute magic trick. This is a fundamental violation of existence. A thing can't exist without its substance. A grin is an effect without a cause. It's the final, deeply unnerving paradox, just hanging there in the air.
All right, so from the madness of what it means to exist, we go deeper. Let's descend to Level 2, the madness of reason itself. Here we find prisoners trapped in a place where logic and even time have completely shattered. Welcome to the Mad Hatter's Tea Party.
The first thing you have to understand about this tea party is that our concept of time is completely useless here. The Hatter explains that he actually had a fight with time. And no, not the concept. Time is a person, a him. You see, he was singing for the Queen of Hearts, and she got furious, accusing him of murdering the time. So as a punishment, time, the person, has just walked out on him, for good.
And the consequence of that little argument? It's eternal. Time is frozen. It is permanently, unchangeably 6 o'clock. And this isn't just a really long tea party, it's an endless one. Think about it. It's one single moment, stretched out into infinity. There's no time to move on, no time for anything new, not even enough time to wash the darn dishes. They are well and truly trapped.
And stuck inside this frozen moment, every single tool of reason is perverted. Language gets twisted into these confusing, meaningless loops. A watch? Oh, it's useful for telling you the day of the month. But the hour? Why would you need that? The hour never changes. And, most famously, they ask riddles that have no answers. The whole point of seeking knowledge is turned into a completely useless game. This is logic in the service of absolute confusion.
Honestly, Alice's frustration just says it all, doesn't it? She's looking for some sense, for a normal conversation, but in this place, the rules are specifically designed to stop you from ever understanding anything. Here, asking logical questions is the enemy, because the very thing you're questioning, time, it doesn't even exist. And that brings us to the final level, the deepest, darkest, and most dangerous layer of Wonderland's logic. This is Level 3. The madness of absolute, unchecked power, and it's embodied by the violent, completely arbitrary, and utterly terrifying Queen of Hearts. Let's be very clear about this. This isn't just a catchphrase she likes to yell. This is the entire legal system of her kingdom. It's the solution to every problem, the answer to every question, the consequence for any action, whether you did it or not. It is the one and only rule that actually matters.
So if you thought the Hatter's logic was messed up, get a load of this. This is the ultimate inversion of justice. In our world, right, you have a trial that determines if someone is guilty, and then there's a sentence. But in Wonderland, nope. The sentence is where you start. Guilt, innocence, totally irrelevant. The punishment is the only thing that matters.
And you see this system play out everywhere. Life under the Queen is totally unpredictable because it's based on her every whim. A simple game of croquet turns into this chaotic nightmare because your equipment is alive and doesn't want to cooperate. A simple mistake in the garden, planting the wrong color roses, that's not just an oops, that's a capital crime. Her power is so total that reality itself is expected to bend to her will. And if it doesn't, well, you know the answer.
So, what's the point of all this? This whole descent into philosophical, logical, and legal insanity? Well, the point is, this isn't just random nonsense. It's satire. It's a joke. But the punchline is deadly serious.
You have to remember, Lewis Carroll was living in this world with incredibly strict and, to a child, totally baffling social rules. Wonderland is basically a parody of Victorian society. He took all the rules about etiquette and social status and blind authority, and he cranked them up to their most absurd and terrifying extreme. And when you realize that, it completely reframes the whole story. See, Alice isn't the mad one lost in a logical world. She is the only sane, logical person in a world that has gone completely insane. She's constantly asking why, in a society where everybody else just accepts the rules, no matter how ridiculous they are. She's the voice of reason when reason has long since left the building.
And that really just leaves us with one final lingering thought. Wonderland's rules, that circular logic, the pointless riddles, the sentence before the verdict, they all seem so bizarre, right? But maybe they're just a distorted reflection of our own world. So the real question isn't about Wonderland, it's about us. Are you Alice, the one who actually sees the absurdity, or are you just another guest at the tea party, accepting the madness is perfectly normal?